It's a race against time for these soldiers as they respond to a simulated natural disaster. This drill is part of RIMPAC, the world's largest multinational maritime exercise, which takes place every 2 years in Hawaii. In this scenario, the make-believe country of Griffin has been hit with a catastrophic hurricane. Now militaries from Peru, Mexico, Japan, and the US are trying to gauge the extent of the damage.
They're government officials, and they've informed us of some of the situation of what they know, their assessment of damage. The ports and airports being shut down, power supply, water supply. They are now in the process of requesting specific asks of us, which in the beginning, as the Admiral mentioned, starts with saving lives.
In the first few days, hundreds of soldiers begin rescue operations and move equipment into place, paving the way for recovery efforts. This command center was set up in just a few weeks to respond to this simulated hurricane that hit this fake country. And so what the goal is here is to work with other countries to provide food, aid, and relief, disaster relief, to the people affected. This specific drill is led by Japan, which is frequently affected by disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis. But the commanding officer here says Japan's experience alone is not enough, and a disaster like this only emphasizes the need for cooperation.
In this security situation, including a natural disaster or something, we cannot work alone and we cannot respond alone. If we are thinking of this fact, we have to cooperate and collaborate amongst a lot of the countries.
But one country that has decades of experience in responding to natural disasters isn't here: Taiwan. The U.S. says Taiwan was not invited to this drill in accordance with Washington's One China policy. But Taiwanese officials say the country's recent handling of a magnitude 7.4 quake is reason enough to include the island nation in these kinds of humanitarian drills, especially if Taiwan's capabilities are up to UN standards.
那也正因为台湾是一个灾害好发的地区，我们更应该要加强我们因应灾害应变的这个准备。那所以我们把搜救队我们也跟国际接轨，也把联合国的这个搜索救援的这个标准也引进来台湾。因为所谓救灾没有分国界啦。
When asked about the need to include countries like Taiwan in these drills, U.S. officials had no comment. Instead, they say that when disaster strikes, the goal is to save as many lives as possible, regardless of political issues.
And it's in the interest of all countries in the area to do that. We do that through cooperation, and hopefully cooperation short of any kind of conflict. Humanitarian assistance is where we have the capabilities and capacity to be able to assist our friendly nations near us.
After roughly 3 weeks, Japanese and U.S. officials say this drill was a success. But Taiwan's lack of involvement shows that there's still gaps in the international disaster response effort. Hsueh and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.